everyone. May 13th, Yikes Podcast here. It's a shitty weather-wise Saturday. A lot of rain. A lot of rain tomorrow, apparently. But it's supposed to be 90 this week. I know you like that, Hogue.
I didn't even see that.
Oh, yeah. I was looking at that too. In Saddle River, it's going to be 80.
See, if you guys don't know, this episode we have 3 special guests. It's a 5-man show. We have, to my left, Jimmy Ray Hogue.
What's the word?
Actor, philanthropist, insane bass player for Wild Plains. And to his left, we have
It's too kind.
Aunt Messina, law student, painter, artist, also actor. And
what's the word?
we have Evan Linares, bodybuilder, movie maker, human resources member, and as always joined by Ho Colin.
Hi.
He's really the one that gets the show going, Ho Colin.
Mellow Ho Colin tonight.
Long-time vapor.
He had one of those spinner things before like everyone else got
Fidget
him.
spinner.
Yep. Ho
By
Colin.
the way, they were proven to be a distraction and not help ADD at all.
That's a shocker.
Fidget spinner's a buy right now. Definitely buying.
Yeah. Or sell.
I'm selling high.
I know.
I'm selling
You're
high
gonna sell
right
high?
now. Yeah, for sure.
You know.
You're gonna go the Beanie Babies route.
Yeah,
You're gonna
I'm
sell.
selling
You better sell high.
This Beanie Babies actually right there.
1999. You gotta sell.
Dude, yeah, they're definitely very popular. I see people bumming them.
The fidgets.
They're bumming the fidget. Yo, man, can I get a fidget?
I think.
It's like a drug now.
Yeah. They're banned at Brookside.
Really
Yeah,
good.
because
As they
kids were
should be.
throwing them at each other. And they're metal, so it
Good.
fucking hurt
yeah.
people.
Some of them.
Yeah,
I
that's
have a
true.
plastic.
That reminds
shit
me
one.
of the Wasp days when we used to shoot wasps.
Oh,
It's a little
yes.
different.
I remember Mark. He did a lot.
Oh.
Dude,
It
he
only
was
took
doing
2 minutes to
paper
bring up
clips.
Mark.
Yeah, no. It was. No, this is the true artisans would make the wasps
Out of
out of
the top.
paper, and then they would put the metal piece around it.
Yeah.
Now that's engineering.
Real sick bastards.
Yeah, that's
I
a
tell
sick
you.
move.
Yeah.
Impulsive
I never did
do
that. I never barbed my fucking.
They barb it. That's right. It was, if you will, full metal jacketing.
Oh
your
my god,
wasp.
that's some blood.
Highly illegal.
I remember some people wet them too.
Yeah. If you got found with
Wet.
those, you were getting after.
Wait, how would they wet them? With
They would like
oral?
dip them into water, or yeah,
Oral?
something like
Wet?
What's the
suck
point?
on
Oh, okay.
Get 'em
So
When they're
harder.
wet, they sting harder.
Yeah, it's a
Oh my
little
God.
And then you also, if it's wet orally, I guess you get the saliva of your opponent.
Yeah, you could transmit disease.
Take a
if
wet
you-
kiss.
It's disrespectful.
That ain't
really.
even how it spreads.
It's a big insult.
I want to give a nice shout out to our sponsors. This week we're sponsored by Aleve, Liquid Gels, and Our Boy Magazine. Please subscribe to Our Boy.
we have
It's
0
monthly.
subscriptions at the moment.
Yep, we really need those going up.
Our Boy magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Let's.
It's like a big obituary magazine.
It's really catching on. So we really hope people.
Our boy's big.
Who are this week?
Yeah,
This week in R
I-
history.
I had a good R yesterday on the subway I was on.
I saw that. I
Yeah.
actually thought that it was a little unfair because you're like allowed to,
Yeah,
to be
that's
asleep
true.
in the
It's
subway.
sort of like-
it's like a bed.
Yeah, he was taking advantage of not have to pay attention, and he was just sleeping. But fuck him, he was on Our Boy.
I was going to school the other day, it was like I was on the subway at probably 8:30. You know when? No, it was actually probably early. It had to be earlier than that because it wasn't rush hour yet, and there was a guy. I'm not gonna say he was homeless because I don't know about his personal life, but he took a nice 30 minutes to do his bedding in the corner of the subway.
Oh,
Like,
he was homeless.
Yeah. All right. He had multiple blankets. And it actually started to piss me off because he was so particular about laying his bedding out on the subway. I was like, he was like doing it was like Martha Stewart tutorial how to lay your bedding out on the subway. I was like, this is what this guy's doing right now. Like he's gonna just become R on the subway that particularly.
Yeah, that's actually
Alright.
very similar to. I remember that one time we went to the city and we went to that McDonald's, and there's almost like a bouncer to go upstairs, so you have to have food to go upstairs.
Yeah.
We go upstairs, we have food. There's obviously this guy's homeless, and he has like magazine cutouts of like Hustler magazine dudes, and I just see him. He's chilling, all right. And very similar to what you were saying, he's laying them out. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck's going on?
Recurring
here?
motif with these.
And then he just starts jerking off
You saw him
in the middle of
He
McDonald's.
presented himself.
And you know what I did? Because I was with my girlfriend. I was with Katya. So I finish eating, go downstairs. I'm like, yo. The guy was like, "Oh, how was everything?" He was like, "No, that guy's jerking off."
You ratted him to the
You
bouncer?
don't fuck with my eating experience,
Yeah,
even if it's at
that's what you got to do in that situation. You can't really.
How do you jerk off in an establishment like that? You
Yo,
gotta go like
I saw a public jerk off. It was pretty exciting actually. So I get downstairs and to see Caucus, like the lower level, and there's these glass, like, I guess booths where you can hang out in, and they've got chargers and stuff in there. And I'm walking by this one, and there's this kid in the corner, and he's up in the charger, and I can see he's jerking off. I'm just like, what the? And I didn't see anything. I just saw a motion. I just kept moving. I was like, fuck that. I'm not even going to look. Then somebody else comes behind me and goes, hey, dude, hey, quit, have some decency, man.
Wow.
And just like started banging on the thing. The guy finally got up and took off after it.
Wow. Jeez.
That reminds me of the Exxon bit where, you know, I was working late night and I was thinking about killing myself. I was thinking, well, it could be the same booth, you know. He's like the same.
Can I get some
He
service?
gets some service.
Yes, he nuts. Like, hey, the guy nuts. That's what happened. That's why he ran away, because he nuts.
Instead of blood splatter on the
It's
window,
not.
it's calm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Hogue, do you have your rant of the week? You want to just dive right into that? I know it had to do with Sea Caucus Transit.
It's not Sequel. It's Penn Station, really. Penn Station sucks. In general, it's, you know what? It's New York. No, I screwed up. NJ Transit. They are fucking awful. Literally every day. You have a good week at NJ Transit if you get delayed only 3 times. That's a good week. Because it has been 20-minute delays out of Penn Station for the past fucking month or so. It's been awful. There's been 4 or 5 derailments.
Fucking trains getting derailed.
I don't want to take off of Hope Collins' bit. I think I'm going to add to it here, but there was actually a collective of riders who made this little establishment, No Pay May. Do you know about this?
I was thinking I wanted to do some shit like that. I'm happy to know I've got other people who
What is
started
this?
it.
It developed. See, this is the thing. The NJ Transit in the last, I guess you'd go back to the big incident in Hoboken, which I actually kind of forget the date of that. But they've been having a lot of issues, as Hokan said, derailments, construction work. So now
there's a lot of the workers have strikes where they threaten to stop.
This is kind of a weird in and out of, like, you wouldn't really know. It doesn't affect anyone except for if you're actually taking the train every day. But Amtrak is a separate entity than the NJ Transit, right? And now recently over the summer they're doing a lot of construction, I guess, and it's caused like a lot of delays, and it's like hard to figure it out. So the people have kind of like come together and. No one came together. They wanted to and do a No Pay May, where it's like no one would buy tickets for May, but it didn't work out because it's bad where it inconveniences you, but it's not like, you know, we're not in Venezuela where like, they don't have.
And on top of that,
it sucks.
They definitely tried to arrange that after I bought my monthly ticket.
Yeah.
Like, what am I gonna like? Half the freaking people who are pissed off bought monthly tickets because they're going to work every day. So I mean, it's kind of a dumb thing to try to arrange that late into May.
This is a weird thing that I've only recently this year found, and it's something that like pisses me off in a really weird way. But if you're it's really not just for people who take transit. Anyone who's ever been in a large crowd, maybe Hokan has seen this before. There's this desire of people in crowds to want to document how big the crowd is.
Right.
So you'll have a there. Yes. So you'll have a guy there. So let's say you're in a very narrow corridor, going up an escalator, and you'll have a guy pull his phone out and try to take a photo, raise his arm up, try to take a photo of the whole crowd. And I've seen this before. One, all you do is create more delay for everyone because you're just in the way. And 2, the quality of your photo is so fucking bad because all you do is get the top of like 6 people's heads ahead of you because the corridor is so narrow. It's just a classic like transit issue that no one would ever realize. And it really pretty much pisses off all the other patrons. You've definitely seen this, right?
I have seen it, and on top of that,
I want to just smack the guy's camera out of his fucking hand.
They're wannabe journalists.
Yeah.
you know, I have seen that, and that honestly, it's part of a bigger problem. Zero awareness. Nobody is aware of anything anybody else is doing. They're doing their thing. They're walking. Oh, I'm interested in this. Stop. Dead stop.
Ridiculous.
And then you fucking almost run to the back of them, and then you're the asshole for bumping into somebody. It's like, dude, pay attention to where you're going. Don't be so stupid. And it's like, people look left or some shit, and they'll just walk. And fucking walk right into you on their phones and shit. Just phones in general, huge distraction of awareness.
The working man is always going to be efficient. When you're, whether it be in the morning or driving as well, the working man wants to get to his office as quickly as possible. When you when you drop in other people, just fucks everybody's day up.
Especially tourists.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, of course, New York is chock full of
You
them.
want to smack them around.
We've talked about it before where it just seems like it's a lose-lose for the people on the train. Whether you're like go all the time or you go, once in a while. There's just always something that happens that just screws you up.
I will say that I think that NJ Transit has alleviated some of its deficiencies on the fact that you're allowed to drink on the train.
Yeah.
Whoever allowed that to happen, I like to think it was like back in 1800s, and somebody was like drinking on the train. And they're like, you really shouldn't be commuting and drinking. And then they were just like, no, we're going to make a rule. You're always allowed to drink on the train forever.
Yeah,
and it
sucks.
Never has changed ever.
At least
you're not allowed to walk around and drink.
Yeah.
You can't drink and drive. But when you're on the train, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, every day I see people with a couple beers. Like they grab the bag, they get a couple beers, and they just drink that on the train home.
Secaucus Junction, man. That's the bar. That's the spot.
Yeah.
That's the spot.
Good-looking women go
for all
there.
the commuters.
It's kind of like international waters where there's no law.
Yeah.
It's like you're allowed to just do whatever the fuck you want on a train. You suck down a couple beers.
Suck a couple down, yeah.
No,
Watch
but
a Rangers
you
game
can do
there,
whatever you
maybe
want.
have a
Just
beer.
do not put your feet on the seat.
Yeah, that's the only rule.
You don't want to deface the property.
Yeah. Well, my rant has to do with, and it seems like it's nitpicking, but I really have been involved with reading a lot of current events stuff, and I'm not a big up to date with certain aspects of pop culture or politics. I'm not an expert. I'm not claiming to be, but I like to read what's going on, especially it could affect us as a country, whether it's like North Korea or whatever's going on in the world. And talking to people at work or at school who don't know who the dictator of North Korea is, or they just don't have a clue of what's going on, has as I've gotten older, has really started to bother me that they can't even pick up a newspaper or just read the headlines of any sort of website or news site that hey, North Korea is threatening to bomb us. I literally was subbing at Brookside, and it was when Kim Jong was talking about blowing up, which he does it a lot, and I was trying to make small talk and just said something like, yeah, I can't believe this whole North Korea stuff, and a teacher whose job is to educate kids was like, oh, I've been so busy, what's been going on with that? And I just was so close to being like, are you fucking joking me that you don't have any idea that someone is threatening lives? It's real. I feel like it's history, because in 20 years they're going to look back at it and they're going to write about it in books and stuff like that. So why wouldn't you value it a little bit more? So many
It's like
people.
some Cold War shit.
Yeah, and also he's got a responsibility with all those little lads with him.
That's exactly it.
If they're about to throw a nuke over, you got to get the little lads somewhere safe.
I'm not saying
We're talking about a
That's
college
usually how they
teacher.
do it. They throw one over.
Oh, I thought you were talking about.
No, I am talking
Middle
about
school.
Brookside.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
but
wait.
also,
I'm lost.
you could just make the assumption that he threatened the U.S. because he does it every
All the
other
time.
year,
Yeah,
or
why
every
would you?
year.
Yeah.
If you just are what's going on? You could have just taken a guess and been oh, he probably threatened it. But some people just don't care to know it. They're too busy, whatever. And I get it. I don't know what's going on all the time, but like,
Just read a headline.
Well, a lot
Yeah,
of times
read a
people don't
headline.
know because he doesn't speak English.
that's
Yeah,
true.
so-
Just read a headline. Just be like, "Yeah, Owen threatens U.S. again." Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a sentence, and you know what's going on.
Like when I go to work, and maybe it's just me being paranoid. I always want to be like, all right, did something happen yesterday that I should be aware of? Because if I go in blind and they're like, dude, did you fucking see what happened over in Brazil? And I'm like, no, I kind of feel like an asshole. Then they're like, oh, they look at you like you're an idiot. Sort of like how I looked at this woman, like a total idiot. But that just bothers me that people don't get that this is gonna matter to people like in the long run potentially, and they should really value that.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about this a couple days ago. I was working, and I was thinking, I work in Secaucus, very close to Manhattan, and if they were to throw a bomb on New York, I was thinking, how would I be able to survive? And I was thinking about using one of the camera cases, getting in it, locking it up. I'd probably wait a couple of years for somebody to let
Completely
me out.
irrelevant.
Probably
Yeah,
dead.
but I
I'd
like
probably
it,
be
okay.
dead anyway. But
That's actually pretty interesting.
The blast
I was
radius.
thinking about
Thinking
that.
through the nuclear war, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I was like, what if it just happens? Or I was thinking about a tidal wave as well.
Wave,
Coming
that's
in.
a good
The
one.
I was
the
like, how
wave
do I-
scares the shit
How do
out
I
of
get to the highest ground? There's a ladder all the way in the back where Lou sleeps.
I actually, if a nuke were to be dropped, I've already thought about that. I just, what I do think about is split second, it's over, so I don't have to worry about it.
You are.
I remember a
Think
bit being
Think
home,
about it,
being
hearing it, and being like, oh man, it's coming in hot.
Me and Ray
It gets
actually
really
saw in the Ridgewood Cinema the film I Am Legend with famous Will Smythe, and I remember we finished the film and Ho came out and he said, I'd probably live. I was like, what do you mean? What do you
Ho
mean you would
gets to
live?
choose.
He said that. He was like, I think I'd probably live. We're like, what are you talking about? It's an airborne virus. You get to choose. That was his bit.
The dog dies.
Oh, that's what you know that.
No,
he's
that's
been
the
thinking
thing though.
Yeah.
I'll be able to, cover from the airborne.
With the shirt.
I'm actually somewhat of a germophobic already. Just washing up every time I do so.
Right.
So you've always thought about apocalyptic events, and you've always thought that you'd live through them.
I thought
Zombies,
about
I
them.
think
I've dreamt about them.
Everybody thinks they're gonna live, and
Yeah.
no one's gonna say, "Yeah, I'll die."
I remember one time I was in AC
I've met
with my
people who say
dad,
it.
and there was a very large gentleman. Very large.
Fat.
Oh,
Or tall.
no, wide.
Fat. Okay.
And I think we had just seen the film, the Brad Pitt zombie movie.
World War Z.
Yeah, and I was like, Dad, Brad Pitt movie? And he was like, yeah. I was like, that happened right now? See that guy? We'd knock him down.
Yeah.
We'd run.
Zombies would get
He
him.
would get shredded.
Yeah.
This guy
Yeah.
would get shredded.
Give us more room.
Yeah. That's pretty much Hogue has always thought about it though, that he would always live.
I'll tell you what,
Knock 'em down.
I can understand why James would think that, because I mean, if you think about it, the big people are going to go first. They're slow. They can't get away.
Yeah, if you have to escape from a bear and you're with a bunch of people, you just knock someone over. Bear gets that guy.
Like what we did to
You're-
Hayden
That's the
Glantz
bit.
behind
It's a
your house when
sacrifice.
we were smoking cigars on the 4th of July. I remember we pushed Hayden into a
we did not push Hayden. This is bullshit.
He's a martyr.
Hayden and Coleman got caught because they were the slowest.
Oh.
They didn't know how to run through woods.
No, yeah, and I think
We knew the woods the best.
he got Coleman got lucky because he
Prime
almost
example.
he almost cut a charge.
Oh.
Prime
Hogan and
example,
I
not fast.
did great. We booked it. We
Dude,
made it.
we
a
even
hoax.
met up in the
Yeah.
other part of the woods.
I don't even think we
Yeah,
split
we
up.
were in the woods and we see the cars come by and we're like, yo, like, hey, we
Yeah.
know the woods the best. We
Yeah.
know where to reconvene.
Yeah, part of being a great Allendalian is, being able to run away from the police and knowing where you
I
are.
remember we met up where we filmed Sci-Fi.
Yeah,
One scene there in the
great.
woods.
On
Yes.
cinema on location.
Yeah, sci-fi. It's a film that very few people have ever seen.
Then they will never see it.
Probably because probably are.
It's
No, it's on the Vixia.
No, it's R. I'll make sure it's R. I'll bury you.
Evan hated the thought of that movie. Whenever
I had
was
a
like,
There's some good
tremendous role in
sequences,
that
man.
movie.
You guys were doing swords.
I actually think I might have put more hours in sci-fi than I did in some of our features.
The only
Damage features.
The only thing I know about sci-fi is from that beginning of that. You want
outtakes
to know about
one?
Goddard?
Oh,
That's
dude,
the only part
that's-
that
that was
that
just
would-
tremendous.
boxing
Iconic.
shot. Yep, that's the best. I think I've viewed that video 60 times. I think I have most of the views on YouTube of outtakes of Gay Messina.
Gay Messina.
That's the name of the title.
Yeah, that was. I remember that actually. Upon watching that, Samir Gandru got pissed off at me. He was mad at me that I couldn't do it. The next, he was like, so I just got mad at that. He was mad at my acting skill.
We have to talk about one thing that has been really pressing me. It was kind of discussed last episode with Zach Holman. That's a plug for our last episode if you haven't listened to it. I really wanted to ask your guys' opinion on who the weirdest kids you've ever met. Doesn't have to be Allendale, and this is not offensive because everyone's weird in their own way. But I just need to know what your guys' thoughts are on weirdest people you've met.
I would
That's
say
a tough question.
no. I think that's actually somewhat of an easy question.
I should have got my notes.
Because I'll say this: the weirdest person that I know, outside of having a mental deficiency, would be someone within my own friend group, maybe myself, because I would say myself. Outside of maybe someone weird, Moretti always has to touch shit, but he's a little bit retarded.
That's an easy.
So I would say someone like myself, or
Well,
maybe
what do you mean by weird?
Ant's
It's
fucking
see, it's
nuts,
hard- yeah.
but there's nothing actually wrong with him.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's very hard to, it's the way you frame the question is that it's relative to what
That's up to you.
that's kind of where it lies.
Yeah, I will say this: the more I meet people, especially in a work environment, which is where I honestly meet people nowadays, I realize our friend group, the people that hang around in this area, are honestly some of the weirdest people I've ever met. And I hate talking to new people. I'm like, you are not fun.
You're boring.
You're boring as shit.
You're boring and not fun. And I always think I never say, oh man, he's just a weird guy. That's definitely what people think about me.
But yeah, that's why it's if you hear if I heard someone you meet someone for the first time and they brought up if their basis of conversation was something about really relevant pop culture, if they said something about Kardashians, I'd be like, dude, you're a fucking weirdo. Why are you watching that shit? But that's the most popular stuff.
Yeah.
But so it's relative.
Right.
I don't know about that type of stuff.
Yeah, good question.
But I don't. But so it's hard to kind of it's hard to pick a person out in that sense, I guess, because it's really it's relative to who your group is, who you interact with. Someone said I'm a big fan of if someone said to me their favorite, if someone said talking about music and they was who my favorite musician is, it's Justin Bieber. I've seen 3 of his concerts. I'd be like, what planet do you live on? He's the most pop. Everybody likes him.
Right.
But I would think that was weird. You went to 3 Justin Bieber concerts. That would be weird to me.
Yeah, how these shows on CBS,
Yeah.
fucking CSI.
What didn't you say? Hogue said the other day, we won't say who, but he said he knows a guy that is a big fan of Saturday Night Live. Be like, dude, who fucking likes that show?
But then you realize it's all Middle America, and so many people do.
Yeah, flyover states. There's a reason why it's.
I don't even think it's Middle America who likes SNL. It's extreme liberals.
Oh,
Yeah.
They're extreme.
It is. Yeah.
Nah, it's not.
They have terrible taste in humor. They are extreme. They're like, I like it. It's dude, you don't like it. It's not funny.
They just support the same thing as you, and that's it.
I think
SNL is not funny.
Yeah, I agree. I think SNL
sucks.
It's more of a live. They respect the fact that it's live, and it's kind of seeing a
And
play.
prestigious.
You gotta respect the live. And it used to be. There's some sketches that are great. Obviously, you gotta pay homage to the great masters. Will Ferrell, Tina Fey.
But maybe you can attest to the bit you've told me, and I think I've heard it as well. The Daniel Tosh bit about SNL. I don't want to go on a tangent on SNL, but it was a bit about how
everybody sucked except for Will Ferrell.
No, it was different. He said SNL has never been good, but there have been great people on it.
I agree.
And that's kind of true, I guess.
You watch.
I mean, I don't want to do a bit on SNL.
No,
like,
you could do a bit on SNL.
I'm just saying, like.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about weird people.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking more about. That's more. Then you go into like, what's a popular item? Like, why is SNL popular? Well, because they have famous people on it.
I remember,
but it's
once,
not actually good.
Yeah, I remember once. Kyle and I were at my father's house years ago, and we put on Comedy Central, and there was just this really bad comic on, and I guess he had a special, and we watched like 5 minutes, and we're like, this isn't good. We turned it off. Kyle went in the other room to watch it, to see if he could go the whole duration of watching it and not laughing, and he came out after and was like, yeah, I didn't laugh once.
Yes,
Like,
it's tough.
It's just like, there are things on that you cannot laugh at. SNL has its moments. You can watch an entire episode and not laugh because it could just be shitty. You can have shitty writing, and it has.
It actually hurts me when I watch that. Like, I cringe and like my torso gets contorted
because it's live.
Because it's just so bad. I'm like,
if I can maybe say on that,
actors.
there's a difference between watching comedy and not laughing and doing what you were saying about cringing. Because sometimes I've watched comedy on TV. And I don't really laugh because I'm just like watching it by myself.
Yeah.
And that's actually, it's really funny though. But when you're maybe by yourself just watching on a screen and you're not like interacting with anything, you don't like really laugh out loud. You're not expressive. But the difference is that when you watch like an SNL type thing, you gotta turn it off. That's how you know it's bad. Mm-hmm. Whereas like I've watched like comics on TV. Like I watched Sebastian Maniscalco, one of his hours on TV, and I laughed sometimes with it out loud. I was watching by myself. Then there was other times that I wasn't really laughing out loud, but I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, that's a good joke. Oh, that was like a nice joke. Whereas if you watch like something like an SNL or like one of these gimmicky shows,
you're like offended by it.
You're like I like you want to move away. You want to turn it away. It's like I can't even look at this.
It's like watching that awkward moment in The Office. It's I don't even like.
Yeah, because this is like someone who they think they're like super proud of it, and it's not good.
Exactly. That's actually a good point.
Yeah.
They're
it's
proud
like,
of it. It's someone's job.
This is being put on as if, and like and maybe like, and that's maybe it goes back again to the original question about like, person that you could pick out. I don't think I could pick someone out, but I know that there are millions of people who it's on TV. It's on TV getting huge ratings. People are laughing at these bits that like I can't even sit there. I want to close my ears and turn it off.
I also think that Hogue is somewhat right that it is extremely politicized, but that's
kind of a different bit on that specific show.
A different bit, but it's also not fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
anyway,
also
enough on SNL.
Hogue, who's your weird guy that you know or gal?
Well, it's a local. Used to hang around the A&P. Any guesses?
Spike Boy?
Remington.
He's got it. Hogue Collins got it.
Yeah,
Remington.
but
Weirdest guy.
He caught a charge.
He caught a charge for stalking, and every time
Only adds to it.
I didn't know about that. Oh my goodness.
Honestly,
down big news.
Yeah.
I did not know about that. Public record, so you might as well tell people.
He just took my. I didn't think of that, but hearing that, it's definitely right.
What grade was this guy in?
Their grade.
Oh,
You don't remember the kid who fucking like ripped into like a Superman looking thing during like an assembly or something? I don't know.
Yeah,
he did a bunch of acts.
Yeah, I think he tried to do a couple of performance act bits, and they didn't really kill.
Was he trying to do an Andy?
No, but
Kaufman
that's
type thing?
oh yeah, very Andy Kaufman.
He was trying to do performance art. It never really killed. It never really. I mean, it definitely probably got some. It bubbled. It got bubblings. Like people talked about it, but he never really. People didn't really respect the art. I don't know. I don't know what he was going for, to be honest.
Yeah, he's really just an interesting guy. I mean,
I think
every time I talk to him, it's just.
I don't even think I've ever talked to him, so I don't know.
He's very spacey, but like he wants to be my friend, and I'm like, God, dude, we never
Do you
really
still
like had a
see
class
him?
together.
Like, is he still around the Allendale area parts? Is he wandering through the A-Bag and A&P?
Yeah, the last time I saw him was probably at the A-Bag right before Thanksgiving, where all the locals come back and do damage.
Is it all a bit with him?
See, that's the thing.
Is it a bit, or
it might be a bit with
be.
Pete Stroud because I know he went to jail.
See,
what are you talking about?
Yes, see, I saw that kid used to go to my gym. I told this to Evan. That kid used to go to my gym and play basketball every day, and I was like, what is this kid doing? I didn't know he played basketball. He got really good somehow by just going every day. He got really good. Then gone. 3 years. It was like 6 months ago. He came back one time. I was like, Pete, I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
My friend Casey went up to him and was like, and I heard it. He was like, Pete, where have you been? And I knew. I was like, shouldn't have asked that dude. It could have been rehab. Could have been something bad.
Yeah.
And I just heard him go, oh yeah, I was in jail. And I was like, I don't even want to talk to this kid right now because I don't want to bring it up to him because that's so like the next thing I say is like, hey Pete, where have you been? Like, but yeah, been to jail. And I didn't ask, but
hey, as far as Remington goes, the first time I ever talked to that kid, I remember very clearly. I was walking through his sophomore, freshman when we were all in the same cafeteria. I'm walking through, and I see him, and he's got a bag of these little white cubes. I'm just like, what you got there? He's just like, sugar cubes. I was just like, is that your lunch? And he's just like, yeah. I was like, that's all you're having. He's like, yeah. I was like, all right.
I think it's a bit. I think it was all a bit.
Interesting diet.
It's all a bit, I think.
Pure
I think
sugar.
it was all a bit, but yeah, I don't know.
yeah, that's an Andy Dick kind of thing. Just trying to be crazy and wild.
Look at me, yeah.
Andy, he's probably so happy we're talking about him right now.
Andy Dick.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, just like last week when Colin and I were
Thank
talking
God
about
brought
Brandon
these down
Fraser.
here.
We had a huge Brandon Fraser bit, and we were like, this is the most PR Fraser's gotten in probably since The Mummy Returns.
James loves Fraser.
Dude.
He's probably mad that I just called him James.
I
but
saw
I'm sure.
Fraser in G.I. Joe for like 2 minutes in theaters in Ramsey Theater, and I was so bummed because it was just a cameo.
For 2 minutes?
It's an unnecessary cameo too. It's not like Brendan Fraser has any ties in with G.I. Joe. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's
he
not
was
like
in
he
it.
did a G.I. Joe movie back in the day, and they were like, oh, let's bring Brendan back for this, little cameo like Stan Lee or whatever.
Dude, you can ask
Stanley.
Yeah.
Dude, you can
He's got
ask
eyes.
Ant when he comes back from the pisser. 2 minutes, because nobody remembers the G.I. Joe fucking movie. We saw it in
Fraser's
theaters, and we were like,
As far as Brendan Fraser goes, by the way, we brought it up because apparently he's got no money. His wife takes all his money. That's what Zach was saying.
Yeah, his going through a tough divorce where his wife just gets everything he's
So,
made.
so we were giving a shout out to Brendan Fraser, like, please, like, give him money, or just if you see him, pat him on the back or
Wait, how
something.
How does that work? He doesn't
I don't know.
This
like
is
child
Coleman.
support or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
Alimony.
I didn't
Yeah, but
fact
isn't
check.
alimony half of what you make?
Yeah, but
that's
apparently it's that.
No, I think it was the divorce where she took
like
his
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 homes
money
and
and
stuff,
shit.
and then half of what he's making and whatever. But I need to go into my weird person I know, and it's like the weirdest, dumbest story I have
Okay.
about. I think I was 10 or 11, and Landon Savino. Shout out to him. He might be listening. Probably not. But he had a sleepover for a birthday back when that was big. And he had this kid that he knew from, I think, tennis camp. So right away, like the kid goes to tennis camp. Probably not the coolest kid, but I give everyone a fair shot. So I meet him. Let's just say his name is LJ. Just for... that is his name. So I'm like, hey man, I'm Kyle. We weren't young enough and I'll explain this, where it was like weird to introduce yourself. Like it wasn't just like you're running around and then like you were like, what's this kid's name? Like I introduced myself. I think I was like 10 or 11, or I was like probably 6th, 7th grade. And we're like hanging out, playing video games, watching movies. Start talking to this kid. He seems pretty nice. I don't know. I think he's from like Clifton or Edgewater or something. He's like white Jewish kid, whatever. Then I think we start playing like basketball at night because Lana had like lights on you could put on. Got whatever. Then it got to the point where the kid wouldn't leave me alone, and I'm like, all right, maybe he doesn't have a lot of friends. Landon has a lot to do with everyone else he's entertaining, so I'll like be this kid's friend. Talking to him just about weird stuff. He's like, then he starts making the move of like, no, it's really cool to have like another friend around. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Like we just met 2 hours ago, but like we're friends. And then the weirdest part was I went to go take a shit, and he was waiting outside the bathroom for me to come out. And he was like, hey man, what's up? And I was like, dude, you been here the whole time? It was like a 10-minute shit.
How's this shit?
It was probably pretty good. Actually, it was probably not that good because it was like, you know, 11-year-old shit. But I, you know,
shit.
I took my time because I was like,
beer shit.
yeah, it was a little pellets. But I was like, this kid is up my ass. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and get away. And then I come out and he's waiting outside the bathroom, and I'm like, you didn't feel like hanging out with everyone else at the party? There's like 10 other kids. No. And then I told Landon, I'm like, dude, you gotta get this fucking kid out of here. Like, he's really bothering me. And Landon's like, all right, we'll try to involve him. And I never saw him afterwards. Thank God. The morning came. It really killed my vibe of that day that I had to like meet this weirdo kid.
Ruined the party.
And now he's one of those kids on Facebook that just like, he'll post stuff on his statuses like people used to do back in like 2008.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he thinks these are like really hot takes. He'll just be like, Aaron Hernandez, what a dick. And you're like, dude, you don't need to fucking post that on your Facebook. We know he's a dick.
If I may, before you finish, about that event, obviously it's since years ago, do you think there was maybe anything potentially
gay? Like a gay vibe?
I thought
well, I was
that.
going to say a lot of yeah. I mean, I guess I was going to phrase it as think he was maybe insinuating something experimental.
Well, that's the immediate like 11, 12-year-old to me was like, this kid might be gay. And then I asked that to Landon. I know I did that night, and he was like, no, he's not. And I was like, first off, how would you know?
You wouldn't know.
Landon wouldn't know.
He's
pre-gay.
Maybe he's like just like a weirdo, doesn't have a lot of friends. And then it really did cross my mind. I'm like, this kid might be gay, and I don't know what the answer is. I'm still friends with him on Facebook, which is shocking because I do delete a lot of people off Facebook when they piss me off. Like I just deleted
Drop a name?
I'll drop a name. Does very similar statuses. His name is Krantz. Mike Krantz.
What's your favorite baseball team, Krantz?
Do you like the Yankees and the Giants?
I know Mike Krantz. He's got a big head.
That was a big Dom bit. Hey, Krantz, what's your favorite baseball team? Meanwhile, I have you, the listeners out there, he would only wear classic, baseball
jersey,
T-shirt jerseys.
Yeah. He was a big...
Every day.
And I just couldn't stand... So I usually delete people, but I keep this kid on my Facebook status because I just love the hot takes of just, like, you know, the totally obvious stuff. Like, when there's, like, a big tragedy, he'll have to write it in his status. And you're like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you're fishing for likes.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah, I don't...
But that's my story of the weirdest kid. Because it was just so odd that the kid was waiting outside while I was taking a shit.
Maybe he was looking for something erotic. I mean, that's kind of...
I'm telling you, I got the gay vibe, but I wasn't going to be like, dude, are you a gay guy?
I don't think you think of that at that age, though.
I totally did, because it got really weird. He wouldn't leave me alone, and I was like, is this kid trying to
kiss me?
I'm just not having it. But speaking of social media and Facebook, I wanted to ask you guys if you have any rules of your social media grind, because I know we're all on it to a degree, not as much as years past. If you have any like go-to rules, like one of mine is, you can't post more than one Instagram in a day. That's mine.
Yeah,
I just don't
agree with that. I think that's not I don't have a problem. I don't have
I
a
do
with that.
with me personally, because for me, I don't have enough content to post more than one day.
I don't restrict it to one, but people who post like 10 in a row, calm the fuck down. Wait a couple days. Post something every day. Give it content for a week. I can't help fucking 10 at once. It's like I don't give a shit about what you did on vacation.
But Hoag's a big Hoag loves liking everyone's pictures.
Oh, I do. I think a lot of people do not like that.
He's a generous
I don't
liker.
give a shit.
They don't like that you like their photos.
People like that.
Is that what you're saying?
People like the.
I literally like every. There's not.
I could put up a picture of a dog
not.
dead. Hoag would double click.
Hoag would be the only like on it.
Yeah, he would be like,
He's a bot.
Kyle posted
Hoag's got bots.
I'm a bot for everybody else.
You're like one of those Asian botters. Have you seen the article? It's like the
They
farm,
like the whole
10,000 phones, and they just are liking things, and that's how you buy followers.
So that's what buying followers is?
Yeah, that's you. You're a bot follower.
Yeah.
But you're not Asian.
Yeah. I'm the best bot follower.
Do you guys have any rules that you stick
Honestly,
to posting?
Sure, I would say I could pull up my Instagram right now. I personally like to avoid the cliches. If you look at my Instagram, it's very, I don't want to say obscure.
Struggle with what, dude?
It's
Depeche
random.
Mode? What did you say?
What?
Depeche Mode?
I'll avoid the cliches.
Oh, cliches.
You don't do like
Did
the
I not
classic.
pronounce it correctly?
No, you did
Okay.
say cliche. I don't know. Pesci mode?
No,
What did you say?
I said
He said
Depeche Mode.
Depeche Mode. It's
It's a band.
I got like a
The band,
picture of
yeah.
my father's student ID. I got a video of Dom, Hoag's campaign poster. Like, I just like to. I mean, personally, I like to post things that matter, and I like to post, things that come from the heart, and I like to avoid the cliches. The TBT just for sakes of getting likes.
Right.
I like to make it matter. Make your post matter. Don't just post shit for the sake of posting something.
I purposely don't do TBTs on Thursday. I do it on any random day.
So
And I
you're
was
like a rebel.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I don't know. Literally, like
It's hardcore.
I'll wait for like Sunday. I'll be like, all right, Throwback Thursday, and just post some random shit.
Is that your big rule though?
That's not a rule. That's
That's just
that's what I do.
your rhythm.
That's a personal.
I will never do Throwback Thursday on Thursday though. That is a rule I will follow.
Okay.
I will never.
That
do
is a
it.
rule.
I'll do. You know what? I'll do whatever it is that people do on
Man
Instagram.
Crush Monday?
I just. I.
So you say meme.
Meme crush.
Meme
Monday?
crush. We just started a new meme.
Yeah, that's been started right
Oh, yeah.
here.
Hoag, you had a great post about the firing of Comey on
That
Facebook.
was my favorite Facebook post of
Yeah.
2017 so
Yeah.
far. Just
You
because of
did-
the
well,
hashtags.
I only,
Hashtag
I only
boy.
wrote it because I didn't know if like a lot of people knew he was an Allendalian.
Hashtag boy, and then what was the other hashtag?
I'll pull it up.
Allendalian. Yeah, I got people like Ryan Mino like commenting. It's like, yo, I just saw that.
Dude, wake up, man.
Hold on, this is what it is. This is what it is.
I was gonna like it, but I was like, I don't want to talk to Ryan Mino.
Y'all didn't know James Comey was an Allendalian? Hashtag Allendale, hashtag boy. Got a lot of likes.
Ant, do you have any rules you follow on your Instagram or
Oh
Twitter?
man, I've been. I don't really. You should assume, as in, it's a guarantee that on any type of piece of material you put on social media, it will garner some type of hate.
Expect hate is your rule.
Yeah,
Not all,
someone
no,
will
not
disagree.
expect. Guarantee. But if you're gonna put something up, you're requesting action. I don't really use action.
This is funny coming from you. You know, after writing "fuck" on Emily Ricciardi's.
That was
wall.
a great bit. That was a great bit, and I'll take full responsibility.
I actually
for-
don't think I typed those lyrics, but they were on
Was
my
it
page.
me who typed it? I was with you when we wrote the "fuck."
I think he wrote it.
No,
Yeah.
I think
I
that
think
we
you backed him up
requested
in the
it.
class.
We all did it, and well, this is.
I don't know, but
getting
that's old.
seriously
It is so
sidetracked.
old.
This girl,
That's why you
there's
stopped
nothing
doing
really
social
about
media.
this girl, but we
Probably,
all were drunk one night, and I think Coban was involved with this, big name. We all decided that we were just gonna write "fuck" on this girl's Facebook page in high school. We just decided we were gonna do it, and we all did it. It was like 5 of us, maybe Hoag, Ant, me, Coban, Dominic.
Yeah, maybe.
Right, fuck on this page. In the front, it wasn't like a big thing, like a huge call. I was like, Anthony, why did you say fuck on my Facebook page? Meanwhile, I did too. She didn't come up to me.
She didn't call
I
me out
saw
either.
it happen. And I was like, Richard, get the fuck out of here. She didn't sit like close to Anthony. Like, get the fuck out
Yeah,
of here.
I don't know. That was a. But see, that's what I'm saying. That's the kind of thing where it's like, it's a bit. It's
Don't
all
be-
a bit. It's
don't
a
be
fucking
friends with
Really,
me.
really, that was your guys' bit. That wasn't even her
You're rolling
bit.
the dice being friends with Ev on anything. So expect
But
hate. Hoag had
you're
it.
asking for. And if you don't think that there's going to be action, then you are fucking blind.
Hoag, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna just say that. I think like 60-70% of the people on these things do not expect hate. They literally all they want is this. In their mind, they go, "I want to show the world what I did." So they can see it and go, "Wow!" Like that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
In
it's
their
their
mind.
platform.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, I agree with
so
that.
that people can look at whatever they're doing. It's just for attention.
Yeah.
What they don't think about, what they don't realize is that, as Ant was saying, there's a good chance you're gonna get hate, and if you get hate, you shouldn't take it negatively. You should be like, well, if you don't want that, you can get that out of there. But I mean, it's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna hate. Somebody's gonna disagree with whatever you're saying.
like a Sean Revito, when we did the Lemonade Gucci Mane music video, I remember he put it down really hard. So you guys are morons. You don't know what you're doing and what you're doing to society. And we were like, shut up.
Yeah, I know Jib has very good bits on social media. I'm always a big fan of all of
He's
them.
very short with his posting.
I don't know if I have any rules.
I mean, your Snapchat game is fantastic.
Oh yeah, one of the best.
Your
Thank
sweets of the week.
Sweets of the day.
Yeah.
Daily
Yeah.
sweets. I haven't done a daily sweet in a
sweets.
while.
You know, people have told me they're big fans of daily sweets.
Daily sweet. Burns, Joe?
Yeah.
No, he's actually told me. He's reached
I'm
out.
a big fan.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't talked to
daily
him in a
sweets
couple
are
of
really
weeks.
good.
If I could give one more introduction before.
I didn't know
Yeah,
anyone
those are
even
great.
knew about
Think
it.
about, and that's a
Sprite
great
too.
example. Hulk's material, like those couple materials that we all know, like if Hulk's doing that live, kills.
All right, I got a rule. I got a rule.
Sprite.
That's
I got a good rule. Hokan will definitely agree to this. No live shooting at a live band.
God.
You know, you see a concert, you just see. I'm like clicking through like 100 of them, and it's just the same shot. Yeah, just terrible audio clipping out.
Yeah, audio's always bad.
That
Resolution and zoomed.
That was a rant of Colin's on our second or third episode of the podcast. It was like someone had I think like 100-second snap story of the same thing, just viewing a stage where you can't hear what's going on, and it's just so unenjoyable. Like, why don't you just like put your phone down and just like have a good time?
Yeah, that's.
It was a Raymond, right?
100,
Yeah, that was.
100
We didn't wanna
seconds.
say it, but
100 seconds is not even close.
it's
Because
more.
I
Yeah,
clicked
you
through
said it's
it.
modest.
I clicked through it for about a minute,
Oh my.
and I was skipping 10 seconds every skip. So you're talking about 600 seconds probably.
Yeah, that's the point where it's like do one, so
Yeah.
you remember it
Yeah, and then
for
move
yourself.
on.
Take a picture.
Save it for yourself,
Dude.
so you can remember it, and then the rest is like, you're not gonna look back at that.
It's like filming fireworks.
Get one
Unless
good.
they save the story.
Yeah, get one
Fireworks
good.
still by fucking. I hate when I see them. If you maybe get one picture, you gotta put it away. It's also so hard to film fireworks.
Well, it's almost impossible on a phone
Yeah,
camera.
too dark. Anyway, get
The
ahead.
lenses are so bad.
What else you got for us, guys?
Who was the name that you dropped that hated the Lemonade video? What was his
Revito.
name?
Sean Revito.
Sean
Listen to that.
Revito.
Scared himself one time. Guy
Well-
sucks.
Do you guys know my response to that?
Oh, you picked a nice fight with Sean Revito.
I called him out, and he never spoke to me again. Friggin', it was senior year of high school, and I honestly I always hated him, and I
too.
remember my comment was something along those lines, where it was a paragraph, just like, dude, like I was essentially it started off like fuck off, like who the fuck are you to come over here and just do this, and then I was like, dude, you're lazy, you're not funny, like you're a boring person. I just like mutilated his personality, and then I said, by the way, I'm not saying this because you said this on this video. I'm not saying this because I right now I don't like you. I never liked you. You're an awful person, and I'm gonna stop there because if you want to take this further, I am happy to meet up and fight you. Like, and I
The
just
Hogue family, man.
and I just
Always
left
looking
it
out
at
for
that.
each other.
Wait, I didn't know that this was like a big thing about the Lemonade video.
I didn't
It was
even.
a-
I
it was
don't.
a
I don't
Facebook
even remember
comment.
that.
Yeah,
Actually,
he
no, I do
commented.
remember that.
Sean Vito
vaguely.
commented on their video, and I immediately, literally within 5 minutes, I came up with that response, and it got a bunch of likes.
See, the Sean Revito, I always forget his
Take him
name,
down.
but senior year of high school, I'm at lunch. Colin's there. I think Connor Brady's there. And you know how the tables are stacked where if you back up, you might hit someone behind you. So he was really pulled out, and he was behind me. So I went to go get food, and I backed out, and I hit him. I never talked to the kid in my whole life. Backed out, hit him with my chair, and I was like, oh, sorry. And he just goes, watch where you're fucking going. And I looked around, and I was like, I've never gotten in a fight in high school. I just said, I was like, what the fuck did you just say to me? And he turned around, he said, watch where you're fucking going. And I was like, stand up, dude, let's go, right now. Oh, you're in the middle of the fucking cafeteria. And he was like, he looked, and he was like, no, man, I'm good. And I was like, and I started yelling in the middle of the cafeteria. I was like, that's right, fuck you. And I walked away, never spoke to the kid again. And then when Colin told me the Facebook story, I was like, good, kid's probably fucking dead.
Oh,
So-
actually, the last time I saw him, I forgot about this. I was at Bottle King. He walked into Bottle King. I don't hold on to anything. I don't give a shit. I literally remember, like, I was moving something. I looked up, and he was walking down the hall, like the aisle, and I just went, "Oh, hey, what's going on?" Like, real happy, like, "Hey, how are you?" Like, I knew it was him. I was like, how you been since high school kind of question, and you just
How you been since I
Yeah.
threatened you?
Well, see,
Kick your
I completely forgot, and I just remember him going like looking at me like, "You're talking to me," and then he just kept walking, and I was like, "What was that?" And I was like, "Oh shit! I threatened to kick his ass in high school. I forgot."
That's great.
Nah, fuck that kid. Fucking.
Colin hates those musicians, man. It's great.
No,
You
it's
know,
not about
he was a great bassist. And then you also almost picked a fight with
we shouldn't even talk about this. Kid
I hate
anymore.
Yeah,
pretentious.
he's
I
got
love
talk
talking about that, but we don't
Yeah,
have to talk about it.
no, it's not that I hate musicians. I hate pretentious fucks, and that's what he was.
I really wanted to talk about a big social media epidemic, and I say epidemic really loosely because I think it's awesome. Colin would call it an epidemic, but reverting to Snapchat and something that we've started, that is kind of starting to take wind in other social medias, and it's having to do with fecal matter and shit
Yeah.
and the intertwining of social media. Now, Barstool, shout out to Barstool,
Yeah.
they are doing a lot of videos with poop.
Yeah.
That most
I would buy
notably-
poop still. I'm still buying poop.
The stock in poop is so high right
It's
now.
not that. It hasn't met.
It's on the
Well, wait.
rise. It's on the rise.
I don't.
Buy poop.
Have you seen the video? Have you
But they're
guys seen the
different.
video of on Barstool now?
Yes.
The cameraman opens the door. Guy's taking a shit on the toilet. He throws him a can of beer and says, poop shotgun. So the guy shotguns the beer, stands up and shits. And he misses the toilet. It goes on the lid of
launches
the
that
toilet.
thing. I
It
sent this
fucking
to you,
comes
man.
right
You
out of
don't
his
remember
ass.
this?
And then he gets the rest of it in the toilet, and it's perfect. And then there's also a video that's gonna hopefully Barstool picks it up. I tagged you, Colin, and Evan in
yeah,
it
you did show
of this
us,
guy
yeah.
playing basketball, goes in on a low hoop, like dunks it, just drops trow, shit immediate, just comes out of his ass. But I really want to the inspiration, just so people that are listening. There's a group of us that have sent us, in Snapchat, since it's quick videos of us shitting or shit in a toilet, whether we're reversing it, filters, slow motion, speed up. We've been doing it just, get shock value. It's funny to get it at work, sometimes just to, make you laugh or make you go, what the fuck, and you close it out. But the one thing that really influenced me was, on Tosh, was Cannonball Dookie. Which I don't know if you guys remember Cannonball Dookie. Possibly the hardest I've ever laughed in my whole life. And if you don't know Cannonball Dookie, just YouTube it. It's about 12 seconds long. Guy, it's a grainy video. It starts off perfect. The fucking cameraman just goes, Cannonball Dookie, take one. And then this fucking guy...
Okay, is that the video? Can we watch it?
Yes,
Yeah.
please watch it, because it's...
Display it.
Cannonball Dookie, take one. Go.
You almost didn't see. Oh, it does slow mo.
Slow mo. Yeah.
That's like an act.
Oh my
Is
god.
that a dog coming in?
I'll say this much: if that guy could probably make. That guy could make. I'll say this much: if that guy could do that on stage, he could make 6 figures a year doing that on stage.
Dude, that video influenced me, and now they're not just like shit in a toilet. It's gone into self-filming of shit coming out of an ass.
Into an ass.
Poop is always gonna be funny,
Yeah,
Buy poop. I'm buying poop.
dude. That stock
Instagram.
is right now. It's not. It's
not low
rising.
right now.
You could fucking buy
in
it.
in one of the newest Chappelle bits, he has a good diarrhea bit. Yeah, so it's definitely
yeah, I did. I
it's
remember
always
that.
it's always because it's such a common bit. And
Yes, everyone poops. Everyone finds it pretty funny or gross, so it's
Yeah.
a shock value or funny, and it's just classy stuff. I think it's classy. A lot of people have shit in their life. We'll leave it at that. Now, Evan is a big farting fan. He has a lot of farts on film.
Yeah, fart comp coming out. soon,
I'm just
probably.
gonna ask, man. When can we expect this fart?
I'm trying to grow the compilation. I want to have some more great farts
See,
for people.
we
You
know?
want
Well-
other people's farts as well?
No.
what duration? I mean, anything more than
This is the only thing that I'm thinking of right now. It's
This is
either
gonna
going to
be minutes long.
just the farts or the whole. Yeah, it's gonna be like a.
No, I like
These are the
your
fart
face,
snaps, huh?
Yeah.
and then the camera going up your ass like you do, and then you
Yeah.
fart, and then you show back your face, and you're like,
Yeah, that's.
Farted.
See, if I did that, it's probably gonna be like a long video.
Might I interject?
Go ahead.
do all of the videos full length, whatever, that whole thing, and then at the end use the farts to make a beat.
Yeah, maybe.
Now, I asked you this off air, but do these farts go back, we were wondering, to 2015, or are they only 2016, 2017 farts?
I think it's a 2016 exclusive. I think it's 2016.
Into 2017.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. But now I wanted to get to the interview part of the show, because we have, some of the founding members of the DMG BOYS. And I wanted to really start off with, I mean, anyone could take these questions, but how did you guys start up? I know it was a lot of younger things even before high school with different movies, whether it was with Ken Hogue, but then it got to the point of you guys were like, we're in a lot of TVP classes. Let's just get this shit rolling.
Well, I'll start with a somewhat of a backstory. Maybe it's known or not, but so the YouTube page is Arrogant White Boys.
Right.
And I think that kind of maybe is a nice jumping point of, obviously there's things before and then everything after, but Arrogant White Boys page, YouTube page, is a good place. And maybe I'll go in with the kind of an origin story on the name of that page. It actually was not created by any of us. The bit, at least. Originally, it was a...
Landscaping.
It was a Cottrell Boys and Tommy Gruder. They were doing a little landscaping action, and they kind of were going to run this bit about it was like 3 white guys landscaping, something like that. It was something like that.
I had no idea that it was the Cottrells. I feel
Yeah,
terrible now.
And Tommy Gruder. Yeah, it was like they're going to do, and they had gigs, like they were doing cutting lawns and stuff. So they had that was kind of where the premise of like the crew type of deal with the words came through. It was like young white guys landscaping, something like that. And then one of the prodigal sons, one of the kind of how would you say, the kind of the back room guys, like the guy that doesn't really get any FaceTime, Dom Tulo, had the bit about a radio station. Yes, a radio station that was completely uncensored and only would do call-ins.
If you were drunk, you had to be drunk.
It was a radio station where it was just people calling into a line, and you could say whatever you wanted, uncensored,
Just open forum.
yes, very open into a radio, and I believe the radio station was called
No, it was Arrogant White Boys Radio.
what it was that was,
Yeah.
or it wasn't. There wasn't any term on the radio.
It was
Arrogant
Arrogant White Boys Radio.
Arrogant White Boys Radio. So that's kind of where the bit came from. It came from the beat, just that, and then it went into the radio station, and then we went to college, and no productions happened. Obviously, we were making a lot of stuff, and then we're like, I don't know who actually originally made it the page. I know I did a lot of the technical work, but I don't actually think I made the YouTube page. Either way, it was made. And we came back from school, and we said, we got to make a trailer, like as in like we're gonna make something. It was like kind of not even we didn't intend on making anything, and we made the Goddard trailer, which we didn't really have the script even yet. We made the Goddard trailer, and I think it got some noise was made about it. People were like, "Oh yeah, we want to see that." And then we had a script for Goddard. And the good thing about before we made that feature, we did a couple of...
No, I think Goddard was the summer of.
Goddard was the summer after our first year in college. But during the first year, we made some, I guess you'd say, vlogs.
Right.
It was a
Oh
vlog.
yeah.
That's what it started as. I think I had intended... I was like, we should make a couple vlogs, as in like keep each other updated, almost kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we made a couple, and I think some of them were really good. I think Hogue made a couple great ones.
What was some of the stuff you guys ran into, like adversity-wise? I know a lot of stuff has been directed towards Bob and Lisa. what other things besides them, or if you have any good stories of times that they've tried to slow you down in your filmmaking process?
Oh, yeah.
So that's going back actually before. I mean,
A Balls Davis kind of era.
Yeah.
And I would say that Balls Davis.
I'm gonna
kinda
connect the Balls Davis.
It's the same thing.
Right.
Yeah, it's the same entity actually.
yeah, I mean that's kind of that's going back. I mean,
Rebranding.
that's definitely
Yeah.
going back. I mean, I think that when we were making productions in high school, which is going way. I mean, you're talking. Think about how long you're talking about the glory days here, but we were doing bits that clearly we were embarking on things that no one had ever done in that type of realm.
They didn't even think of doing.
I mean, it was so much far beyond what anyone wanted. We were doing long films with like extensive plots and development and weird, filming outside and of school and all types of things like this. And that's kind of where it developed. And we had a lot of great bits there that then carried on. Obviously, one of the big running themes was, how would you say, not going against, but kind of rebelling against the
brass.
Yes, against the brass. That was kind of a running theme almost.
Right.
Fuck Bob.
No, we just made good content.
It was good content, but it was always played in.
Oh, yeah, the fuck Bob
Yeah.
bit. Okay.
All of those type of
Yeah, I
bits.
agree.
And it was like about just trying to make like the best content. And I think that really the starting point
Wait.
of the great
Hold on. I'll say this. There was a blackface video made, and to Bob's credit, you guys could have gotten in a lot of trouble had he taken it to the administration, and he didn't.
See, that was
It started being played. I was there when he watched it. He paused. He was like, I'm gonna pretend like I didn't see that.
that was
And
my
it.
question was, I know Bob has been a dick in different things, and Lisa has been a dick and stuff. But I think the weirdest thing that like as an outsider who knows knowledge of the whole situation is that they've supported and like loved your guys' work, and then they've also fucking hated some of your stuff, and it's kind of odd that they're just like so critical on certain not that they were so critical, and then they were so like, this is the best, you guys should win all these awards, and then they were like, this is a piece of shit.
No,
You know,
no,
what the
the-
fuck did we
listen,
do?
this is the thing. If someone is going to put the amount of time and care and thought about a project that I think we a lot of times do, talking about months and work hours out of the realm to put into a project and then execute it really well, you can't. And when the product is really good and people like it, how can you be upset about that?
Right,
Like, you're
especially-
taking something to the level. It's like, okay, it's a. If we're going way back, obviously that's what we're talking about. There was no reason why we should have taken as much time to do projects as we did. We put way more time into that kind of stuff.
comparative to your classmates, like nothing against Anthony Garamone, but he's coming in with the handy cam filming bullshit in the hallways, and then he
Deer
gets a
Green,
fucking
fucking-
B
I'm saying,
plus, and you're like, what the
You
fuck?
have to allow someone, if you're gonna work that hard and put that much content and time into a piece that you think is good, even if it's maybe a little bit edgy, let's say, but if it executes well, why you shouldn't dismiss that. I guess.
Did that bother you guys? That was my like real question. Is like these guys were supportive.
Never.
In certain
Oh, that never.
ways.
I mean,
it just gave us
absolutely
more
not.
material.
It was
Yeah,
motivation.
More
Yeah.
material.
It was motivation.
We're just like, oh, they don't like it. Well, fuck them.
Exactly. And
Who
I
gives
would
a
say, like, and this is, I don't know what, maybe it was because it was late. I think one of the I don't want to say best because there were some good projects that came out of Highlands. One of the better projects that came out of Highlands was Bolivian Agricultural Fever, which is a project that almost nobody has seen that has been to Highlands. When we were younger, we saw that stupid movie Condom Run and Enrique Carrion's brothers film The Heist or something,
Yeah.
and those were like deemed like the
Legendary
great.
Yeah.
They're like
Big
the great
films.
Highlands. So they were good movies. We made Bolivian Agricultural Fever, which is a good movie. No one ever saw it, and we got a D on it.
I actually think that in my adding to that, my senior year, I got a D in that class.
Yeah, I
That's
also
ridiculous.
I also think I failed that class
I got a D.
because
D plus maybe.
yeah, something like that.
I looked at. I think I had it. It was like on a desk. I got a D in that class. And obviously that's kind of like an administrative thing. Like technically, maybe we handed everything in late, but
But they should allow minds that enjoy the class, give a shit, want to do well, to like a little bit more leeway. I'm telling you, I sub at Highlands every now and then whenever my schedule allows me to. That program right now is in the gutter.
That's
no
a
one's
shame.
taking TVP anymore. They're like frantically changing the
last
names.
ones.
I'm telling you,
think-
it's they had to fire Hain because of it.
I think the idea first came about just before like we got there, but when the Hogs got there and that group, just you guys and all of that group, you guys fueled the TVP. Everyone was like, "Oh shit, look what these guys are doing. I want to do that too."
well,
So they all went out
It
and tried to
definitely
do it
ended
too.
after because they had the Oscars and we won every single award, and then they canceled it. They didn't have Oscars after that.
We shut it down.
Clearly, it stopped after we left.
They thought it was rigged.
Won every
Like,
award.
parents
We
were
won
like
literally
talking,
every award.
You
I
know, these
don't-
guys are like taking the
So,
ballots. And
I don't know if it's only that though. I don't think that's the only reason. I think on top of that, after your grade, the grades below us just didn't care as much.
Their interest is at an all-time low. They said that they changed like TVP broadcasting. They changed the entire name of it to social media, and they thought it would work to get more people in it. And they took a poll of students, and they said that like 30% of students said that the name change was a huge mistake, and they shouldn't have changed the name. They're just struggling right
Listen,
now.
I honestly, I don't even want to put too much time into like that era. We made great shit after that. I don't even want to give more bits on that.
Oh, absolutely. I just wanted to see the weird Lisa and Bob dynamic of like that you guys were arguably their best students they had go through there and ones that cared the most. Not best like whatever content, that's so subjective, but you guys cared so much and they just were like, oh, you guys are great.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys suck. What the it just was really
It was a
mind-blowing.
love. It was a love hate, and it was
Yes.
also interesting that prior to us there was good content that was coming out, but it was all for the hype.
Yeah.
None of all the stuff that we made was for hype. The hype that we wanted was from within. We wanted them to get pissed off.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
stuff we're
A
making.
lot of times, yeah. There's a lot of divisive
which
material.
actually translated later into college when we would enter into film festivals and break all the rules on purpose.
So yeah, maybe that's a good bit. I mean, that's kind of way behind. Obviously, the filmmaking that we made after that was way more advanced, and like we didn't. There was no There was no assignment, which is different. There's
That's
no
true.
assignments to be made.
It's open.
Yeah.
It's
So
all
so
what we want.
if you want to go back, like, so the first one we made obviously was Goddard, and technically that's a sequel prequel, right? It's a prequel to a film we made, but it might have been. I think we always go back to it. It's like maybe the most enjoyable one to watch, right?
Original Goddard?
Yeah.
Like,
No. Goddard.
oh, I thought you were talking about TVP1.
No, Goddard. I'm talking. No, done with that. I'm talking about Goddard. Yeah.
Dominic Tulo directed the
Yeah.
first.
No, not the
Goddard.
Tulo directing.
Not the
No.
bar scene.
No, not that. The
That's a great
original
scene.
Goddard. That was a film that was written in college, filmed the first year after, and it was definitely it was like we made that movie as if we were still had an assignment,
Yeah.
but with no rules.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
why
That's a
it
good
came
way of
out
putting
really
it.
well.
Yeah.
Interesting. This is kind of like DVD commentary, but the Valisi role.
Well, you save it for the DVD commentary.
Should I say this with you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there, I mean, obviously, like if we DVD commentary on the film would be incredible because there's so many bits.
Ho
right?
Colin in that movie.
Great.
Yeah, only by visual.
Yes.
Not Ho Colin voice.
Voice
That's
acting.
another. That's a DVD. I mean, this is what I'm saying. That's kind of a lot of DVD
Save it for
commentary
the,
stuff
for
on.
the DVD commentary.
Yeah, there's a lot of great bits on there.
Leave Goddard behind then.
Yeah, there's a
What
lot
is-
of DVD commentary.
What would you
there.
guys consider like something of yours that's like underrated, but what's something that you also consider that you're not like the most proud of that might like be either overrated or you just were like that didn't turn out as what we wanted, maybe we could have made some changes if we had more time or whatever it is. Let's go underrated first. What's underrated?
Underrated. I don't think that many people watch our shit.
Yeah, there's such a low rating that it's hard to say.
So all underrated.
I mean, it's hard to really say because there's no ratings. But as far as what we could have done better,
I want each of your guys'
last
answers.
big project of Mad Batter, we had. I know personally, I wanted to make it like more of gathering the gusto of change and how people are expecting change graduating college, and I almost wanted to make it like what the fuck's that movie? It's got your boy in it.
Dazed and Confused, you think?
Dazed and I wanted to make it like Dazed and Confused for college,
Growing up and
graduating, kind of like what are we gonna do now? And
a coming of
also
age film.
A coming of age. Coming of age with a bunch of weird shit going on. I also wanted to add aspects of race into the film, and none of that really panned out. I still like the movie, but it wasn't what I envisioned. Like a movie like and Ant will attest to this, short film like Bundy, and the way Anthony and I imagined Bundy was exactly how it came out. The way I imagined Mad Batter, not exactly the way.
As far as what he's saying is the film Bundy. I don't think there was a single shot that we compromised.
Mm-hmm.
Every single shot that we thought about in that film prior to making it was in it, which is almost impossible in filmmaking. Mainly because of budget, I guess you'd say,
time
probably
restriction and
time,
everything.
budget, anything like that. That film was made every single. We did not compromise on any single shot.
So overrated, underrated.
As in like what I would maybe try to make better. I'm trying to think about.
What just didn't get enough credit? Which honestly, at this point, I think Bundy sounds like the answer you'd pick. Is
I mean, yeah. The reason why is, but Bundy's also different because. Not 40 Wounds. 40 Wounds was a project that we did. I'm going to be honest. I think it's probably the only film that I've ever been a part of in the DMG BOYS collective that I was not satisfied with. Like to want to keep screening over and over. We rushed it. Definitely rushed. That's one of the reasons why. Guarantee for that. Also, I think the premise was great.
I thought the premise was great as well.
Premise was really good. We rushed it.
There's no cinematography.
I mean, we filmed that movie.
Is this your 40 Wounds or my 40 Wounds?
No, this is the 40 Wounds we submitted. This was movie made like. It was made like a day and a half, but we made it. It was a movie made in a day and a half that we wanted people to think we took like months to make, and it didn't work as well as I thought. It was kind of weird that the public's response was really good for it.
I hate watching 41.
That's the movie that you despise. It was sci-fi, and you were like, I don't want to talk about
the shot, and actually, I think Hogue that likes 41. The shots in 40 Wounds are so bad. They're so bad. If you watch just like weird angles. Of
We struggled to make it out.
We didn't have a cinematographer. I'm not a DP. Hogue is usually the.
It was hard to. Yeah, we made that movie. It was a rushed film. I think the script wasn't even made. It was nothing. The premise was great. And
we had to do a reshoot.
This was the thing that happened. We, as opposed to like the movie like Making Goddard or Making Bundy, where we executed it so well. The idea was really good, and we executed the idea. 40 Wounds, the idea was great. We missed. That's the problem.
It happened.
It didn't work as well as we thought. What we thought was going to be great didn't happen.
Overrated, underrated, damage.
Let's hear Hogue.
I think underrated Carjack series.
Of course.
It's classic.
I enjoyed making the Carjack series. Reminded me of the spring. Tremendous time of the year. Those are the glory days.
That's one of the best deaths is Ken Levy getting shot outside the Benoit house.
Yeah,
that sequence was just tremendous.
Just just gets
And the
fucking-
Dom kill as well.
It looked really good.
Yeah, it did.
Casting Dom was just a terrific idea.
Yeah.
For such a maniac like that.
Yeah.
Dominic is a great actor.
He's got a great maniac smile.
Yeah, he does.
He can force a good smile
Yeah,
for
yeah.
maniacs.
Dominic is good at being like a dominant character.
Yeah,
he
he
can't
is.
like play like anyone else.
Yeah, don't ask Dominic to cry.
No.
He's a very behind the scenes kind of guy though too.
Oh, yeah.
He's very good at that.
What's
your
overrated?
Yeah, what's something you wish you could have changed in a movie that
Yeah.
What made better?
yeah, something one of them that you wish you could go back and just fix or have better?
Generally, I think a lot of our movies have shit audio.
Yeah.
That's it's just a general thing that yeah, we'll get it. We'll get the audio.
Jersey
We'll be
Ranger
good.
had a tough audio.
Filmed in a blizzard.
Yeah, there was some tough audio in Jersey Ranger. Yeah, it's a technical question. Yeah, it's true.
In post, we just had silence
Yeah.
when Kroos was chasing Hulk Hogan down the street.
Yeah, I
It was
don't
just
understand why that happened.
It's audio.
The audio
Yeah.
kind of, we were like, you know what, fuck it.
You
I'm not even gonna put music or any effects or the audio.
What are your-
That was actually hold on, not to interrupt, but that was something that I just remembered that Bob he censored. Yeah, he made you guys take out the blood effects in original Jersey
Didn't do it.
Ranger.
Well, actually,
We didn't do it. We didn't do it.
Joe Chino wanted to broadcast it, but he's like, we gotta turn the
Blood down.
blood down.
We didn't do it though. We said
And I
no.
were like,
Nope.
we're
Sorry.
not doing it.
And not censoring the
Yeah.
Not censoring.
That's how.
Not
that's how
because
you
we were
guys-
standing for our rights as artists.
It's
but
mainly because Hulk didn't want to
because
do
we
it.
were lazy.
Would've been hard to do it.
Like, dude, I don't want to
No,
I
I
had
think-
to do it already.
I think this is what happened. We went down to the office and he was like, Chino was like, I really liked it. We want to play the thing, but you have to take some of the blood on the screen out. That was what it was because we had some really aggressive blood on the lens. On the global lens. And we were like, oh, all right. And then we went back to the class and I was like, Hogue, I'm going to be honest. I don't think we should do it. And then Hogue was like, yeah, I'm going to be honest. We printed it already. I don't even know how to get it back. He was like, because we didn't have the file on the computer.
Oh,
I don't
really?
think, yeah. It was like, we put it,
It
we
was like
exported
some
it
video
already.
file.
They
Yeah.
also
So it was
wanted
like-
a different ending, which was not going to happen. The ending.
No, there was an alternate ending.
Yeah, alt ending. Well,
There was an alternate ending.
That was the
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. Yep.
Instead
That's
of
the
Anthony
final line.
having an actual mustache, he picked up dirt,
Mm-hmm.
mud off of the ground and wiped it over his mouth,
Mm-hmm.
and that was his mustache. And there was footage of that.
I remember
He had a fucking mud.
we made an
mustache.
alternate ending with a mud mustache. Yeah, I do remember.
I don't even remember that alternate ending. I
Yeah.
was talking about the one where you shoot yourself.
No, that's
Shit.
the
That's the
ending.
real end.
That's
We made
real.
an alternate ending where I live. Because the OPs wanted it. The studio wanted it.
Bro,
But we didn't
yeah,
broadcast
what
We
was-
still have that footage, like
I don't know.
Probably not. No,
Dude,
that's
that is
definitely gone.
awful.
There's
Because-
that's gone. That's definitely gone.
because that would have been the excellent way to end the mustache slowly getting shittier throughout the entire thing until eventually it's just fucking mud, not
Yeah, but
even
the thing is
paper
that
and tape.
If that didn't happen, then the beginning of JR2 would have been
Yeah.
the same.
I think that it would have been really funny if the school newspaper caught wind that you guys were standing up for your movie. Meanwhile, it was because you just didn't fucking want to do it.
Yeah, Hogue didn't want to do it. Yeah, said we didn't.
Student,
They're so
film
brave
activists.
in
Yeah.
the way that they
Yeah,
shoot
caught up in
things.
all
We're
that.
like, yeah, we just forgot.
It's
how
on
to
local
edit it.
news.
You would think that there would be somewhat of a common ground between maybe us and the newspaper, but there was such a disconnect.
I don't even know. What do you? Yeah, no.
I don't even.
Yeah.
Who
None of
would
our
write?
stuff was ever
Dan
put on the
Hurley.
news.
No idea.
Michelle Schechter.
I feel like
Some
that's the
bitch
kind of
just
that's
read
the,
the fucking
it's like that
news.
came
Yeah,
that was that news was 6 months old.
That's
Like-
so good.
I don't know.
The news.
Yeah, they're
was-
like field hockey scores, Highlands wins.
Yeah.
And then it's in fucking winter. It's like, yo, I want to know about wrestling. And is Joe Burns gonna do 103 again? Or what's
Yeah.
going on?
Most fucking pins. Who's got the most fucking pins?
Well, most fucking pins brings me to my final question: is what is the future hold? What are some ideas? Not to give away stuff, but do we have stuff in the
No, we don't got anything.
in the head
Oh.
going?
Maybe I don't know. I mean,
Don't get too obviously detailed, but the fans
It's
need
literally
to
can
know.
be like there's something coming. Like that's like
It's gonna be great.
I'll say this. The last feature production that was made was actually pretty long ago. When you think about it,
It was Mad Batter, right?
There was a lot of. I would say now there's more material on the table than ever has been before. And I'll also say this: we will not make a feature film before we put out content that is high quality. As in, we're not going to put out another feature just
to put it out.
to put it out. Like, we're going to put out kind of where the direction's going. Going to be small projects. More or less. Smaller bits.
Maybe some Instagram, but I have, it's kind. I don't want to say satisfying the people, but every once in a while I'll put out content. I have the urge to put out material, put it on the Damage Boys Instagram feed,
Fart
put
comp
it out.
coming
Maybe fart
soon.
comp, maybe potentially
Scare
coming
comp.
soon. Scare comp. I put this video with I don't even know what you would call it. Dominic is the the lead-in image, and then you watch it's just obscure
Not
images.
generic bits.
Yeah, just kind of stuff like that. But I'll also say this, and I don't mean to cut you off completely. We're at kind of a get together, a going away party for fellow Damage Boy Zaj, Zono, Zach, and people are like, "Oh, let's do a screening of a Damage Boy film." This is somebody that wasn't even a Damage Boy, just a fan of the films. And we're like, all right, let's put it on. And as soon as we're getting closer, I was kind of embarrassed. I was like, we haven't made a production in a really long time. So I'll say for the people that are fans of the work, that we are motivated to put out new content soon, and also potential documentary, not about the Damage Boys, but it'll be released by the Damage Boys about something. Doc coming soon, potential.
Yeah, and showered his
I think that what the people. I mean, if I don't want to, I don't want to puff people, but yeah, there's definitely content coming. Big content.
Merchandising.
Well, that was honestly.
there's
I
big
have
content
that. I want to know. Are we looking to merchandise? We have the pit shirts. We want to know if there's anything in the future.
Okay. Well, I'll say this about the pit shirts. We were in the pit not too long ago. The boys were in the pit.
Yeah.
It was the Damage Boys in the pit.
Was there a young boy? I heard there might have been a younger boy.
That youngest boy was not in the pit.
Oh, shit.
We were gonna have a ceremony bringing a very young boy into the pit, and then potentially
He was
having.
not reluctant.
Yeah, I honestly was a little
Yes.
nervous to ask this young boy, who wouldn't be able to understand me. He maybe was not a year of age, to bring him into the pit. But anyway, the Damage Boys in the pit. Myself, Hogue, Zach, Ant were in the pit, and I just thought randomly, maybe it came up, and I just thought of Love the Pit, which I kind of thought would be like a tattoo, kind of like a stupid Ed
like on your
Hardy
arm.
tattoo.
Yeah.
Of those shirts I used to wear in high school, like a huge fag. Be like a Death Before Dishonor.
Right.
It'd be Love the Pit with like a crushed beer can. Because, look, I don't know, you obviously can't see, but whenever Ant is done drinking a beer, he crushes the can. So I just thought,
It's for environmental reasons.
sure, whatever you want to say. But you crush a can when you're done with it.
It kills more animals.
I want to say
So sharp.
love the Pit would be a good tattoo, except I'm not going to get a tattoo that says Love the Pit.
Yeah.
So why don't we put that on a shirt like Ed Hardy? So we put it on a shirt, I got it, put it on the Instagram, people liked it. Hogue was like, I want a shirt. I wasn't going to order a shirt for Hogue because I'm not that good of a friend. So I sent him a print of what...
Give me a vector.
Yeah,
Some shit. No.
I sent him a good image, and I was like, Hogue, you fucking order it. And I took pictures of Hogue and I's shirt, and a lot of people are like, oh, I want a shirt. But I've never been a person to make money off of my friends. Not really what I'm about. But, Ant, he's kind of into the higher fashion. So maybe down the road it's something to look at. But as of now, it's just kind of we're dicking around with sayings. I know you've brought up some that we could put some lines from some of our films.
Yeah, I was thinking, certain big lines.
Maybe Goddard only deals with flat rates or anything. Honestly,
Some
there's
lines
so
from
many.
Eli, I thought would be really good on shirts.
Use the foil would be good.
I would love the rates one to have like a black and white image of him just like talking, just
I'm
on
telling
your
you.
shirt, and then underneath have that line. Goddard only deals with flat rates. Like that would be awesome.
It would be great, and maybe it could be something for promotional. You put the
Gutter
link,
deals with flat rates.
the link on the back or something like that. But it honestly would be like it's such a good. It would be a great shirt. People, you see, wear that shirt out. Oh, what's that shirt?
Yeah, get people talking about
Gutter
it.
only deals with flat rates.
So, it would be nice to get similar to the shirt I have with my face, a face of that dumb face I did in Goddard. Shay, like the Shay look, just
With
like
the
that
glasses.
What are you
Yeah,
packing
like-
or smoking?
on the shirt. Just
Yeah,
That's
that's right. That's true.
I would wear that.
Learned it from my father.
Right now, it's more of an art that we're making. We just do it for shit. Right? You're not wearing that for. You wear that shirt because you like the idea of it. The pit. You love the pit.
I do love the pit.
The people.
I wear it because I believe in it and I
Yeah.
support the pit.
The pit
I
for
love the pit.
for the viewers and listeners out there. The pit is a basement. Maybe your buddy's basement that
You want to?
running.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Sure. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say you don't want to reveal. I mean, the pit is kind of a. It's a.
It's an area.
It's a religious.
It's a
Well,
sacred
it's not. No,
ground.
it's not something
Yeah.
that you really. You don't want to expose. I mean, Boogie Nights is its own. It's its own ass. You can't explain it. It is what it
It's
is.
pit. It's pit headquarters, right?
Yeah.
You have Boogie Nights, and then you, if you're, it's a lot like Scientology. You have, when you go clear, you get to go to the next
Yeah,
level.
there's different levels of.
You get the Boogie Nights, and then you can
Yeah,
go
I
to the
mean,
pit. It's not that, the
A
people,
bunch of dudes out there have their own pit, have their own place where they piss and poop in the basement. And it's just our pit is our pit.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that pit headquarters is in Allendale. But there
Oh,
are-
whoa,
there are
whoa,
other-
whoa, whoa! I don't even know what's out though.
There are other chapters, around the world, around the globe, that are other pits. It's just, it has to be, a certain amount of feet under sea level, and
Could be above sea level.
nah, can't be above sea level.
A pit has to be below ground.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Right now, Allendale is like way above sea level, and that is way above sea level.
Well,
Ground
I have a
level.
lot of
Okay.
.gov sources that refute that statement, and I will fight you tooth and nail, and I will see you in court. And no, honestly, I made that last part up about sea level, but
We,
it does have to be downstairs.
It's got to be underground.
Yes.
One of the final talking points of today, because we're running out of time here, is something that we've all done in the past, and it is I wouldn't say it's a sensitive subject because we frankly don't care about it. Is a celebrity death pool.
Mm-hmm.
We all have guys that we've picked. It's been somewhat advertised. I wanted to just go on the record on our podcast who we picked and why very quick. You have 30 seconds to do it. Hogue Collin, you are first. Celebrity death pool. Go.
I forgot who I picked.
Hogue, you have
You
to
pick
know
the
this.
wrestler.
25 seconds.
Oh right, yeah. No, I picked Ric Flair
Oh.
because that dude looks like his heart's ready to die any second. He's just been high energy for so damn long. He's old. He can't keep it up. Especially because to get the amount of energy he's got, there's got to be cocaine involved. Cocaine is going to end your life sooner if you keep doing it, especially at an older age. So I think we're going to see a sudden heart stoppage from Ric Flair before the end of the year.
There's a lot of celebs dying, so Ric Flair could be one of them. Evan, who is your guy?
I picked the Queen of England.
She's struggling right now.
I didn't
from
know-
what
I didn't
people
hear
said.
that,
There's
but,
been weird stuff in the tabloids.
But
about
honestly,
it.
she's everybody talks about her being immortal. Honestly, this is her year, I think, to R. But I will also give this plug next year. Gonna be a way better draft, way more in-depth draft.
I think no, absolutely.
It's going to be it's going to be broken down into age. You're going to be able to pick one age group. It's going to be 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Can't pick anybody above 95. pick one person, 150, 160, 170, 180,
And it has to be
190.
done like a fantasy football draft.
It's going to be.
Right.
You want to pick somebody a 90 first? That's probably your best bet. You're
Right.
not going to pick some chump
Yeah.
first in the football draft. But all right, that's a little bit. But go ahead, Ant.
And
Yeah, I actually I thought I was way ahead. I pitched George H-Dub. I was actually
He looks like shit. but-
I was
Dude,
so
he's struggling.
when
too.
when the actual picking happened, I was like a mile ahead of everyone.
Mhm.
I mean, the guy was on his last breath.
He's been hospitalized twice to give you that.
And I thought I was going to be clearly the winner.
I'm just looking at the pictures you posted.
But
So
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I thought I was gonna be clearly the winner.
picked Danny Glover.
But
James picked Danny Glover.
but so he lived, and he's out of the hospital. He's kicking now. I don't know. I mean, I might be R
yeah,
for my pick.
for your pick.
Okay. You
But
had
I
30
was
seconds,
I
by
was
the way.
way
You're
ahead,
over.
and I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen now. So.
Jimmy,
Alright,
do
go
you
ahead, Hope.
do you pick? Do you remember who you picked?
Oh yeah, who I picked. It was honestly, I really thought he was much older than what he actually was. Because an old black dude is like old, but also young at like 40, and they're like the same age to like 80. So I picked Danny Glover, and I saw Lethal Weapon. Mel Gibson looks a lot older, but Danny looks like he's. I see him in commercials doing arthritis bits, and I thought that he.
I'm gonna be honest. Danny Glover's gonna get hit by a fucking bus and die, and Hope's gonna win.
Dude,
You know what? I will say he's been saying since like the 90s, I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's fair to assume he's old.
I think that was Hope's rationale, but
Yeah.
go ahead, Kai. What's your
Mine, I picked Danny Trejo, sort of what Ant said, and I thought he would just get in a freak accident. He's kind of older. Maybe he would do some weird stunt that would fuck him up, or he would be in Mexico and just fucking die from some
Also
crazy
did some
shit.
crazy drugs.
Yeah, he was like a felon, and he went to jail, and I think he was in a gang and stuff. But I was like, Trejo's like in his 70s. Something might happen that might catch people by surprise.
He had to have done drugs in his early life as
Oh
well.
yeah,
and that
he's got
fucks
on the
with your
record
heart.
to say that
Yeah.
he was a really like bad dude back in the day, and then he was saved from acting and stuff.
Yeah.
But I had Trejo. I don't know. I have doubts, but then again, it's so random. Like you just have the craziest people dying at such young ages. Like who was the one that just died recently? Like he was like 50 something. Famous guy.
Somebody just became R.
Yeah,
I don't
Bill
know.
Paxton,
that was a big
little
one.
bit ago.
great actor. I remember when he was in
Germinator. Genesis.
Genesis or the first. No, the first one. He's like, asshole.
Yeah.
Fuck you, asshole.
He was
And
in a lot of big
Arnold
names.
took his dialogue, remembered
Fuck
it
you,
later in the
asshole.
movie, told the guy in the hotel.
Yeah.
Great Bill
He was in a
Paxton.
lot of movies.
I did. Yeah.
Best in True Lies, though, I think.
Yeah, he
was-
played
that
that
was-
weird car salesman. Or
It was his
whatever.
breakout role. So the guy got a little dick.
Yeah.
It's pathetic. Fucking Bill.
All right.
Well, does anyone have any closing thoughts?
All right. I'll say this. I had a lot of fun doing this. I hope people listen to it, but I also don't care if nobody does. Because I don't do this for the hype. I do this for the pleasure.
Yep, I'm gonna have to agree with Evan on that one. Thank you for your input, and I want to thank you guys for letting me input. And I am honored to be here.
I
It
honor
was
your
a
friendship.
Great time. I honor our friendship, and I honor our brotherhood. Brothers for a while. Hokan most of my life, and then the rest of you.
I mean, if I'd say it was a pleasure, it was an honor.
Yes.